There's not one person in the world that we can look back and say completely developed the tank. It was originally thought up and designed in the 18th century. The purpose of the tank was to make a giant war device that rather than roll on wheels, it had treads. Shock absorption made the tanks able to cross more rugged terrain. The tanks played a major role in World War I because it allowed troops to cross the no man's land in between the trenches. Up until tanks, this land was nearly impossible to go into without dying almost instantly. Tanks broke the stalemate and gave the British Army its necessary advantage to win the war. The tank, which was first designed in 1770, went through many transformations and evolved many times since the first tank was dreamt up. Its main purpose was to cover the very muddy battlefield like a tractor could. In 1885, with the innovation of the combustion engine, the development of the tank seemed very realistic. Then, in 1899, a tank was offered to the British Army with bulletproof armor and a machine gun attached. The Army turned down the offer, though, because they thought it would be overall of very little use. The tank was then realized to have a very good potential in 1901 with the innovation of the crawler tracks. Then, in 1914, it was finally deployed to active battle as a special device and had a very good potential and a very good impact on World War I. The development of tanks in World War I started as a solution to break the commonness of trench warfare. The first tank was the Mark I, and it was deployed by the British Army on September 8, 1915. Although the British Army first called them land ships, U.S. Americans wanted the big machines to be called water carriers to preserve secrecy. Whatever they were called, tanks were a great success. They were equipped with guns and cannons eventually, although they were not at first. In conclusion, tanks are big machines that were originally created by the British Army to help them break trench warfare and were a solution to World War I. Overall, tanks were very influential in the First World War. Just a dream in the 1700s, today they are a major weapon for every large army in the world. Tanks are to this day still deployed worldwide for every major conflict. They were a very big innovation and they changed war forever. They were able to move over the battlefield like no vehicle before them due to their revolutionary tread. Tanks were able to cross the lines that people were not able to. They broke the stalemates and eventually, arguably, won the war for the Americans and its allies. Tanks to this day are still on the battlefield and are constantly getting stronger, better, faster.